The one thing that men that are bald or men that have thinning hair should never do. What is that one thing? I'm gonna get straight into it. This may be controversial. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. So that one thing that bald men or men with thinning hair should never do, you should never disguise your bald head or your thinning hair with a hat. Okay, I can speak from experience. As you guys can see, I'm bald here. I've got my thinning spots here in the front and in the crown of my head. So I know what I'm talking about here. So the reason why that's the number one thing that bald-headed men should never do is because you're just setting yourself up for a possibly awkward situation when you do decide to finally take your hat off at work or at school or around family or wherever you are where people see you on a consistent basis. Now, I'm not saying that you're wrong or anything like that for always choosing to wear a hat. It's your right to do that if you so please. But speaking from my experience and in my opinion, when you do that, when you intentionally disguise your bald head or your thinning spots with a hat, and then you finally decide to take that hat off or whatever you're wearing, the scarf or the hoodie or whatever, you just leave yourself wide open, possibly to some awkward situations. People looking at you like, hey, like, who is this guy? Like, hey, you look strange. I know that in my personal opinion, I've seen people like that, where you never seen them with their hat off. And you don't know the exact reason why they're not taking it off. I mean, who knows? But then they decide to take it off and it's like, whoa, like, especially if you're bald or you have thinning spots like I do. It's like, whoa, like who is this guy? Like, who is this person all of a sudden, So that's the number one thing right there, you guys. Now the key thing with this is not about wearing a hat and being wrong about wearing a hat or wearing a scarf or wearing a hoodie all the time. The key factor in this is when you disguise it, when you're intentionally trying to disguise your bald head or your thinning spots with a hat. So if you guys can scroll through the rest of my videos on here, you'll see where I talk about that more in depth. I had that same experience where I went through my phase of wearing hats and skull caps and all types of stuff, disguising my thinning spots and my bald head and stuff like that. So I'm speaking through experience here. This is just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. So in my experience, when I did that, it just, again, I had times where I used to work outside, so I had times where I would see a lot of people in public. I had a public facing job where I talked to a lot of people every day. And I just so happened to be outside one day, hat blew right off my head. Had my bald spot showing and everything, and people had never seen me like that before. I just got so confident in wearing my hat all the time. So now I'm going inside of businesses. They've seen me coming in there for years, for 1-2 years, for a significant amount of time, and they just know me as the guy that's coming in, with the hat on. I don't think I even had the beard at that point. But you get used to seeing a person how you see him. So now I'm coming in bald spots, you know what I'm saying? And they like, whoa, like who is who is this guy? And of course people are gonna be polite, they're not gonna say anything and stuff like that. But then you do get some looks. So that's why I have the take that I have. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. So again, if you're a bald-headed guy out there, if you're a guy that has thinning hair, I wouldn't recommend that you take the route of disguising that with a baseball cap or a winter hat or hood or scarf, whatever it is that you're choosing to disguise it with. My take on that is just embrace it. It's easier said than done, because like I said, I went through the same thing, and I'm speaking from experience here. But if I could do it all over again, hey, like I do now. I mean, I haven't cut my hair in 2 weeks here. I just got back from church. I went to church just like this, not that how I look is bogus or something, but have my hat on most of the time, but it's like, but people know me as not having my hat on as well, so I don't disguise my bald spots. I don't disguise my thinness. I don't disguise my bald head. But it took me some time to get out of that phase that I was in, just keeping it real, so if you find yourself in that phase right now, I'm telling you, the freedom comes when you just take the hat off. Just take the hat off, take off the scarf, take off the hood, take off whatever you're disguising your hair with, and just be you. The sooner that you do it, the better. Because like I say, in my experience and in my opinion, when that hat blows off one day, you can't find your hat one day. All your hats are dirty one day, or you just whatever. You just decide to say, forget it. I'm gonna go out without my hat on. I'm gonna go to church without my hat on, or I'm gonna go to school, to work, wherever it is that people usually see you, and you finally decide to take that hat off. Yeah, I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up for people to look at you strange and things like that. I'm just speaking from experience. So that's the number one thing that bald-headed men and men with thinning hair want to avoid doing. That's the number one thing. Don't disguise your baldness or your thinning intentionally with a hat. Don't do it. Just go ahead and rock your bald spots. Go ahead and show the thinning. Go ahead and show the bald head. You know, I'm telling you, you'll feel that much better. You don't feel like you're hiding anymore. You don't feel like you're disguising things anymore. That's just my take on that. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Leave a comment. I will reply to you. Maybe you have a different take. Maybe you disagree. That's fine. So side note, now you do have some men, you know, they use Rogaine, or they use fibers, they use whatever they use to disguise their balding, their thinning. That's what I used to do as well. I have other videos on here where I go more into depth about that. But I'm just, in this video, I'm just specifically talking about disguising it with a hat. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. How have you disguised your baldness? Did you go through the same things that I went through? Do you still do it to this day? Why or why not? I'm interested in seeing why that is. Again, not saying that people are wrong or they're bogus or something wrong with them if they do disguise it. I just find it very fascinating. I find it very interesting. And that is why I made this video today, because that's my current perspective. That is my opinion, that that's the number one thing that men who are bald or are thinning or are losing their hair should just completely avoid altogether. Just be you. Show the bald spots. It is what it is, you know. Show the bald head. It is what it is. Just embrace it. The sooner you do that, the better. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button though. Peace out. Have a good one.